everyone, it's Kristen Redmond, and today we're going to go over the planetary aspects that are surrounding us and affecting us for this upcoming week of August 27th through September 3rd. And my goodness gracious, the summer has come to an end already. Isn't it amazing? And luckily this week, it gives us a chance to kind of reflect on it all. And take a break, take a breather from the celestial energies that have really stirred up and conjured up quite a number of emotions and memories of the past, and feelings and hopes and dreams within each one of us. And this week is nice because we're coming off the heels of this eclipse, this massive eclipse that we talked about last week. And if you're wondering how it affected your sign in particular, I made a series of horoscopes by each sun sign as to how the eclipse was really changing and shifting things and what new beginnings are in store for you based off of your sun sign. Those videos are on YouTube, and of course I'll include the link below for that as well. But for all of us, that eclipse really did push to the surface quite a bit of information. Things that are hidden that come to light, things that we hide from ourselves that come to light. And sometimes, you know, we push things back so much, I think, in life that we only choose to want to focus on what we want to happen, that we don't really see or listen to the reality that's around us. That's trying to tell us maybe we're not so happy doing this, staying in this comfort zone. Maybe we're not doing the right thing by whatever, you name it, you know what I mean. But this week really helped to shed a light on those areas of ourselves that maybe we kid ourselves or fool ourselves repeatedly by saying, oh, that's okay, it's not a big deal, or oh, I never do this, and blah, blah, blah. Whatever it is, this eclipse really helped to put it into perspective. What is it that I do want? How do I want to work for that? And in that process, these are things that really aren't a surprise either. They're things that you've been thinking about over the past year, especially starting in September. A lot of focus on relationships, thanks to Jupiter going through Libra this year, and the Venus retrograde, the planet of love and money. When it goes retrograde, it really makes us all go deep within and figure out how to restructure our relationships, how we love, how we give and receive love in our life. It becomes a little bit more in the focus, and the more you try to resist those energies, the more they're going to keep coming back to you. And I think that in this time frame, this eclipse, it made it all get forced into light. Whether it's how you make your money, how you love, how, whatever it is, right? We're all kind of a little bit more aware of it. And so this week, and over the next week, we're still processing the energies of that eclipse. You're going to see more events that happen that push us to that realization or that actualization of where the changes need to be made in life to bring you greater happiness. Because no matter what, 2016 was a year of endings, whether it was ending a phase, ending a selfish cycle, ending habits, ending patterns, ending relationships, ending careers, whatever it was, 2016 initiated an ending of sorts. And now 2017 is a year of new beginnings. And here these new beginnings want to get rocking and rolling, and they especially want to get going in 2018, but we're still kind of sloughing off those dead cells as we move through, right? So over the next week or so, we're still in those energies, and the universe is still going to be dropping hints, especially for those that are incredibly stubborn and refuse to see the signs, listen to their dreams, or follow what their intuition's telling them. The universe is going to make it known one way or another, right? Because ultimately, this is the year of feeling happiness. This is the year where those endings lead to the new beginnings that lead to happiness. It is the year of thinking with the heart over the head. And this week, most of the impacts that are going to be happening out there, it's a relatively quiet week in the skies. I think it's just a chance for us to kind of take stock of all those things I just said. Where those new beginnings have been coming and how it's affecting us on an energetic level. The only planet that's really getting affected this week is Mars. Mars is the engine within each one of us. So this is going to be kind of a pretty important, or a little bit more of a trying week. Not a trying week, I don't even know what word I want to use. More of a vital week, I suppose, for our Aries friends. because Mars is your ruling planet. It likes to initiate things. It likes to start things. It likes to lead new trails. But I think one of the main things that we all will take from this week is in Mars is that it likes to bring fresh energy into something. It likes to take the old stagnated energy that doesn't work anymore and replace it with something new. And a lot of that has been brought to light through this eclipse cycle. And so this week, Mars out there in the sky is making an interesting, beautiful once-a-year trine with the planet Uranus. Uranus, of course, was very much involved in the solar eclipse. It was the only planet that made an impact with the sun and the moon at the time of the eclipse, which is pretty important. That's a pretty powerful thing, especially for our Aquarius friends, which are ruled by Uranus. Uranus is the planet that wants to liberate us from the past. It wants to break us out of those cycles and those ruts that we find ourselves in, that we just hit the repeat button on over and over and over again, and we kind of go on autopilot, whether it's eating bad, getting into bad relationships, making bad decisions, maybe it's staying in the situation that you shouldn't. Whatever it is, we repeat these cycles because they're comfortable. And Uranus comes through and it says, this isn't you. This isn't you now. Maybe it was you 10 years ago or maybe you 5 years ago, but it ain't you now, my friend. And what it does is it electrifies things and it shakes things up and it pushes us into, yes, maybe an uncomfortable zone, but it puts us more into where our soul is aligned with now. So this week, Mars, that planet that's the engine that wants to push us, that wants to get us going, gives us the motivation to do it. It aligns with Uranus, that planet that pushes us towards freedom. Freedom from whatever it is. So the two of them are working together this week to really start moving on these energies from the eclipse. What was hidden that has come to light, maybe it's time to start moving on them. And if you don't feel the need to move on them yet, it's not a big deal, right? Because we still have a lot of time throughout the remainder of this year to really get moving on these things. Now, the other thing that Mars is doing this week is it's making a connection with Mercury. Now, Mercury is in retrograde right now. It's in its third retrograde phase of 4 retrogrades it goes into in a year. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it impacts our Gemini friends the most. But it, in Virgo, okay, because you're both ruled by Mercury. Because it's about analyzing, it's about thinking, it's about processing information and communicating what we've learned, not only to ourselves, but to others as well. Mercury does that. It brings things to us in a speedy pattern. And when it's in retrograde, things don't really get to us as quickly. But it's also a time for us to reflect, not necessarily make all these massive changes and all these things. What it is, it kind of goes in reverse, and it gives us a chance to really recalibrate some things in our mind and revise some plans moving forward. The eclipse is making it known what needs to change, makes it known what our true hopes are and desires are and needs are. And Mercury being in retrograde now, making a connection with that Mars this week, gives us a really good chance to say, well, I do want to make these changes. This is what I need to do. And a lot of that comes from looking to the past, right? Looking to the past. How interesting is it that this week, Mars out there, the one that really wants to move us forward in this life, is making connections with 2 retrograde planets, 2 planets that are looking to the past. Retrograde Uranus, that's looking to how we've liberated ourselves in the past and what needs to be changed moving forward, what chains we need to break ourselves free from. And Mercury looking back to the thoughts of the past, those thought patterns of the past, communications of the past, memories of the past. These things come to light a little bit more so this week. And I don't feel that they're very strong energies. I don't think that they're very angry energies or things that are going to really take a lot out of us on all different levels like the past week has brought. I think over the next couple of weeks we're going to have a chance to really process it. I think it's going to be a time when we kind of want to shield our energies away from things, not necessarily get the ball rolling on things, but to really sit and introspect and think about what we want moving forward. So that's basically what I see going on for this week. So let's pull some cards now, right? Let's do a reading and kind of get a little bit more information moving forward on what we're going to be doing for the upcoming week. So here we go. We got all my stones. see what angel's with us this week, bringing us guidance as our mind, body, and spirit kind of recalibrate from this amazing, transformative, massive eclipse. So let's see who's with us. Wow, isn't this interesting? Funny, funny, funny. I was just explaining the stone to a client's son this week when I did a reading. Okay, so this is obsidian, right? Obsidian is a stone that is known to heal on all energetic levels. It's one of the most protective of all the stones, and I think that's what's coming through to us this week. Last week, and a lot of energies in the summer have opened portals out in the universe. Portals that bring change. Portals that bring through esoteric information, things that we've carried from previous lifetimes, you know, esoteric. And in that process, it can really wear down our energetic fields. It can wear down our spirit. It can wear down our mind. It can wear down our body. And in those times, things can attach to us. Energies can attach to us. We don't need that, right? This is one of the most protective stones out there. Any kind of black stone is going to protect you. I think it's great this week if you can get outside. And if you're feeling very electrified from the energies that have been around us this week, it's great to go for a walk. Look for a stone. Ask for God to bring you a black stone. Something that grounds you, something that protects you, something that shields your electromagnetic field from the bad energies and welcomes in the good, because that's what happens with these black stones is they transmute. Think of it like charcoal, right? Charcoal sucks out all that negative toxic energy, and it helps you kind of move forward in a detoxified fashion, right? That's exactly what any type of black stone will do. So if you don't have an obsidian on hand, know that there's plenty out there that God provides in nature. It's good to go for a walk, breathe in the air, filter out, listen to your guides, and get detoxified in that process. So I don't feel there's any one particular angel. I'm just saying the guardian angel. Our guardian angels are the angels this week. Guarding our purpose, guarding our lives, guarding our souls, guarding our everything, right? And that's exactly what we're going to give credence and gratefulness towards this week. They certainly are guarding us moving forward. So let's see what the message is that I suppose the representative of all guides and guardian angels would say now. Let's ask them directly. Archangel Michael, the guardian of guardians, please tell us this week what we should bear in mind. Isn't this interesting? This is a card of last year too. The Tower card represents dramatic changes that have happened in our life, things that happen on an unexpected level. Of course, Uranus is that planet I was talking about this week. Uranus did some amazing things last year, I tell you what, both good and bad in terms of unpredictable events that are kind of forcing us into the next phase of life. No matter what, they bring a massive transformation that's more fitting for us at this time. But man, when it happens, it is chaotic. It's chaotic energy. And I think that this card coming through is reminding us of that even in those times that our guardian angels are with us and holding our hand and guiding us, whispering that information on which direction to go. This card in particular, the number 16 card, the Tower card in normal tarot, if you want to get a little bit more information, but in this deck it's called the Life Experience card, and its message is a significant life event that happens, a powerful revelation that leads to some pretty big change. And it's time to really be independent and spread your wings. Just as I said, Uranus is the ruling planet of this card. And we know that this week it's trying to work with Mars on a subtle level to help initiate those new changes that have come from these relatively chaotic events that popped up unexpectedly out of nowhere. Or maybe they were expected, but man, they sure did take a lot out of you. And they sure do shake the foundations of who you are. In the tarot deck, the card is representative of that. The Tower card, a building is falling down, it's on fire, there's an earthquake happening, there's people falling out of it, there's a flood, there's all this chaos that's going on. And that's the energy that it carries, that it's hard to find your footing in those times. But the angel that carries through in this card is Archangel Chamuel. He's the angel for our Taurus friends too. So if you're Taurus out there listening, know that they're especially helping you in this time frame. But Archangel Shamuel is the angel that helps us find peace in these situations. He helps us find anything. You lose your keys, you lose your dog, you lose your ring, you lose anything, right? He's going to be the angel that's calling to help find it. But he helps us mostly find peace. He can help you find anything you need, whether it's a job or what have you, but at this point, he's helping us find that balance. Even through just the chaotic energies that happened last week, maybe some of us can't wrap our minds around it even because it happened on such an interesting level. Mind, body, spirit, all of them, right? Kind of got a little bit jolted in that eclipse, and you may be feeling like you're hungover almost. And he's the angel that comes through now and helps calm us and sift through that energy and find what the true message is. So right now I'm going to pull an extra card. I'm going to pull one of my chakra cards. See if maybe there's a certain area where we need to focus getting some of that energy out of. But a lot of times it's just one word. And a lot of times one word is more powerful than the 7 million that we can say, right? So let's see what Archangel Shamuel's main point of guidance is right now as we look back to those chaotic events over the past year and move forward into a liberated, more like us phase now. Perception. Isn't that interesting? You know what's so cool about this card? So cool about this card is that it represents doorways that we face in this lifetime. And that when we decide we're going to move into a new phase, we open that door to the future, and in the process we close the door to the past. Now the thing that happens is we move into this future and it's unknown, and we have to follow what our heart is telling us. We have to follow those internal nudgings that are saying it's going to be better, I think, on this side of the door if I try. So you open it up and it's unknown. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be beautiful, exactly as your intuition is telling you to do. But the thing is, right, when you go to turn back around, let's say you get scared, right, because things aren't happening as fast as you want as you open that door and it doesn't look quite as good. You think, oh, you hesitate, oh no, I'm opening this door and I don't really know. Problem is, though, just by opening that door, you can't go back to the past. The past will never be the same. Same as said with this card as well. In that building that was struck by the earthquake and the flood and the fire and all of them, right? That building isn't the same. That foundation isn't the same. And there's no way to go back to it. The best thing that we can do is move forward and know that something beautiful is going to happen. Even if it's not immediate, there's going to be something wonderful because no matter what, those doors to the past have closed. And with that as well, out there in the skies, pushing us to new levels of what our soul purpose is to do. That includes relationships, that includes our divine mission on this planet, that includes our work, includes our money, includes our friends, includes our family. All of these things, they have shifted and they have changed in ways that we haven't seen in 20 years, right? Big things for all of us. And it's all in how we perceive them. These doorways that have opened out there are starting to close, right? And the energies from that are going to carry throughout the rest of this year. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't, okay? Just keep following what your intuition is telling you. And no matter what, it won't lead you to the wrong path. So, everybody, thank you so much for watching this week. And know that your guardian angel is there protecting you and guiding you no matter what. Sending you light and love. Thank you.